earthquake and tsunami that struck Japan in March of 2011 caused billions of dollars in damage and also wrecked the Fukushima nuclear power station on the coast. It continues to spew radiation, and some say an even bigger nuclear disaster could be coming. One that, as ABC News reporter David Ono explains, could threaten us here in the Bay Area.
March 11th, 2011, a 9.0 quake hits, the strongest ever recorded in Japan. And then, live from our televisions, we watched a monstrous tsunami annihilate the most prepared country in the world. I saw firsthand the enormous devastation. Entire towns wiped out, piles of rubble 30 feet high. But the third part of this disaster has the potential to be the worst of all. Yet the damage is almost invisible. The Fukushima nuclear power plant continues to spew radiation, 5,300 miles from Los Angeles, and still not far enough. Deformities are showing up in Japanese butterflies. The once thriving fishing industry near the plant has been shut down. Dozens of species labeled too radioactive to eat. And there's the human toll. 160,000 families have been forced from their radioactive homes, many still paying their mortgages, even though they'll likely never live there again. Fukushima is an enormous problem that's getting bigger.
There are several hundred tons of radioactive water that are pouring into the ocean at the site every day.
That's nuclear engineer Dr. Arjun Makhijani, president of the Institute for Energy and Environmental Research, who confirmed to me that ocean currents are carrying the radioactive water to the West Coast. According to a study published in the journal Deep Sea Research 1, it'll begin arriving this coming March. But Makhijani says, don't panic. The radiation will be diluted, and levels found on the West Coast are very low and not considered dangerous so far. But the question is, will we really know?
I think we should be doing better monitoring of food. I don't think the EPA and FDA are doing a good enough job.
The scariest part of Fukushima is not what has already happened. It's what could still happen. Every day is a desperate effort to keep the plant from melting down. What's distressing for many is the Japanese government is not overseeing the cleanup. Tokyo Electric and Power, or TEPCO, is a private, for-profit company.
They don't want to take the long-term viewpoint and just to save the money.
Japanese nuclear engineer Yasel Yamada came to America to shine a light on what he feels is a flawed approach. He says TEPCO is over their heads.
The cleanup job is too large for their capability.
Yamada is one of many experts who say this is a bad solution and that a meltdown is still possible, like Dr. Jimmy Hara with Nuclear Age Peace Foundation and professor of clinical family medicine at UCLA.
It's like the fox overseeing the chicken coop, and it's a huge problem.
TEPCO and the Japanese government seem to have refused international help. I think that's most unwise.
Fukushima is potentially the biggest ticking time bomb in human history. The damaged plant is in no condition to withstand another massive earthquake or tsunami. These are photos of what happened to the original 19-foot seawall when the tsunami struck. It was shattered and, as we all know now, provided little protection. The tsunami flooded the plant, cut off the power, and the meltdown was underway. The plant's defenses today are far less. Just last week, Dr. David Suzuki, one of Canada's top environmental scientists, stunned the audience when he described what will happen if a massive quake did hit today.
It's bye-bye Japan, and everybody on the west coast of North America should evacuate. Now, if that isn't terrifying, I don't know what is.
It's David Ono reporting.